A little boy, no more than 7 years old, sits on the floor of a cramped apartment in Warsaw, Poland. His name is Samuel. He is building a small wooden airplane from a kit his father gave him for his birthday. The apartment is quiet, too quiet. Through the thin walls, he can hear his parents whispering in the next room. He cannot understand the words, but he knows the sound. It is the sound they have been making for weeks now. The sound of fear. Samuel glues another piece of wood into place. The airplane is almost finished. He holds it up, imagining it soaring through clouds above the city. He makes a quiet, whooshing sound with his mouth. For a moment, he is a pilot. For a moment, he is free. The whispering stops. His father's footsteps, heavy and hurried, cross the floor. The door to Samuel's room bursts open. His father stands there, his face pale, his eyes wide. He is holding a small bag in one hand. Behind him, Samuel's mother presses a handkerchief to her mouth, her knuckles white. Father speaks in a rush of words Samuel does not fully understand. Something about trains. Something about leaving. Something about now. Samuel clutches his wooden airplane to his chest. He looks past his father through the open door to the window in the living room. Through that window, he can see the sky above Warsaw. It is a clear, blue sky. The kind of sky meant for flying. Then, the sky changes. It is not a gradual change. It is instant. The blue is cut by dozens of silver shapes moving fast and low. Airplanes. But not like the one Samuel just built. These are different. These make a sound Samuel has never heard before. A high-pitched, screaming roar that seems to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. His father lunges forward, grabbing Samuel off the floor. The wooden airplane falls from Samuel's hands and hits the ground. One of its carefully glued wings snaps off. The screaming in the sky grows louder. Samuel's father runs with him toward the stairwell. His mother is screaming now, not words, just a raw animal sound. They are on the stairs, descending into darkness when the first bomb hits. The sound is not a sound. It is a physical force. It punches through the walls, through the stairs, through Samuel's small body. The world becomes noise and dust and falling. Samuel is aware of his father's arms still wrapped around him. He is aware of his mother's hand gripping his ankle. He is aware of the staircase beneath them, collapsing into nothing. Then there is only darkness and the ringing in his ears. Samuel opens his eyes. He does not know how much time has passed. Seconds. Minutes. He is buried in rubble. Dust fills his mouth, his nose, his lungs. He tries to cough but cannot find the air. He tries to move but cannot find his body. But he can hear. The ringing in his ears begins to fade, and beneath it something else emerges. A low, pulsating rhythm. It is not music. It is not a voice. It is something mechanical, something relentless. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. It comes from everywhere. From the collapsing buildings. From the burning cars. From the twisted metal of the airplanes, now falling from that perfect blue sky. Samuel does not know what it is. He is 7 years old. He only knows that this rhythm is now the heartbeat of his world. The old world with its quiet apartments and whispering parents and wooden airplanes is gone. This rhythm is all that remains. His hand still clutches the broken airplane. He does not remember holding it. But it is there. One wing gone, the other still attached. He looks at it through the dust and the tears he did not realize he was crying. The rhythm continues. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. It is the sound of the future arriving. It is the sound of the world ending. It is the sound of 7 nations becoming one army marching toward him through the smoke. Samuel opens his mouth to scream, but no sound comes out. The rhythm swallows everything. It swallows his fear. It swallows his pain. It swallows the boy he was just 5 minutes ago. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. The screen holds on his face. A small face covered in dust and blood not his own. Eyes wide open, staring at something only he can see through the smoke and the fire and the falling city. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. The rhythm grows louder. It fills the theater. It fills the chest of every person watching. It is no longer just a sound. It is a feeling. It is dread. It is inevitability. It is war. And then, nothing. The screen cuts to black. The sound cuts to silence. Absolute, total, terrifying silence. For 5 full seconds, the audience sits in darkness and silence. No breathing, no movement. Just the echo of that rhythm in their minds and the image of a little boy holding a broken airplane in a world that just ended. The English Channel is black. Not dark. Black. Like someone painted over the world. Somewhere in that blackness, a small boat moves through freezing water. The boat is packed with men. Young men. Wet men. Men who cannot see where they're going but go there anyway. One of these men is Thomas. He is 22 years old. He is a private from a small town in Iowa that has a population of 400 people. 3 months ago, he was milking cows at 4 in the morning. Now he is holding a rifle above his head, trying to keep it dry while salt water crashes over his face. The boat pitches violently. Someone to Thomas's left vomits into the darkness. Someone to his right is praying, not quietly, loudly, like God is standing right there and just cannot hear him over the engine. Thomas does not pray. He does not vomit. He stares at the back of the helmet in front of him and tries to breathe. The engine coughs and sputters. The man running the boat, a British sailor with a face that looks 100 years old, yells something that is swallowed by the wind. Then the sky lights up. It is not gradual. It is not a sunrise. It is explosions. Dozens of them. Hundreds. The sky above the black water turns orange and white and red. Tracer fire arcs across the darkness like angry insects. The sound arrives a second later. A continuous rolling thunder that does not stop. It is not like the movies. It is not dramatic. It is just noise. Too much noise. Noise that makes thinking impossible. The boat grinds against something, sand. They are here. Wherever here is. The ramp drops. Thomas does not decide to move. His body moves. His legs carry him forward into water that is freezing cold and up to his chest. He holds his rifle higher. The man next to him, the one who was praying, disappears under the water and does not come back up. Thomas does not see where he went. He does not look. He reaches the sand. He runs. Everyone runs. There is nowhere to go but forward. The beach is chaos. Bodies. Smoke. Burning vehicles. Men shouting orders no one can hear. Thomas finds a concrete wall. He throws himself behind it. For a moment he is still, for a moment he breathes. A hand grabs his shoulder. A sergeant with half his face covered in blood screams at Thomas. The words do not register, but the meaning does. Move. Shoot. Survive. Thomas moves. He runs along the base of a cliff. Bullets hit the ground around him. Each one sounds like a whip cracking. He does not think about what happens if one hits him. He just runs. Ahead of him, a group of men huddle against a rock formation. He joins them. There are 6 of them. They are all breathing hard. One of them, a kid who cannot be older than 19, is crying. Not loud. Just tears running down his face, mixing with the sand. The sergeant with the bloody face appears again. He points up the cliff. There is a path. Narrow. Exposed. But it leads up. It leads to the guns that are killing them on this beach. Thomas looks at the path. He looks at the crying kid. He looks at his rifle. The rifle he has never fired at another human being. The sergeant starts moving up the path. 2 men follow. Then another. Thomas watches his own legs stand up and follow. He does not tell them to do this. They just do it. The path is steep. Loose rocks slide under his boots. Below him, the beach grows smaller. The noise grows quieter. Not because it stops, but because his brain stops processing it. His world narrows to the next step, the next handhold, the next piece of rock. A bullet hits the wall inches from his face. Chips of stone cut his cheek. He does not feel it. He keeps climbing. He reaches the top. He does not remember the last 20 feet. He is just there, on top of the cliff. The ground is flat. There is grass. There are trees. It looks like a park. It looks like somewhere people might have picnics on Sundays. There is also a German machine gun nest 50 yards away. Men in gray uniforms are firing down at the beach. They have not seen Thomas and his group yet. The sergeant motions. Spread out. Advance. Wait for my signal. Thomas moves left. He finds a shallow depression in the ground. He lies down in it. He aims his rifle at the men in gray. His hands are shaking, not from fear, from cold, from adrenaline, from being alive. He looks at the back of a man's head. The man is busy firing. He has no idea Thomas exists. Thomas can see the details of his helmet, the strap hanging loose, a scratch on the side. He can see the man's ear, the way it sticks out slightly. Thomas's finger rests on the trigger. He thinks of Iowa. He thinks of cows. He thinks of his mother who thinks he is still in England training. He thinks of the man's mother somewhere in Germany, who also thinks her son is somewhere else. The sergeant yells, the signal. Thomas does not think anymore. He pulls the trigger. The rifle kicks. The man's head disappears from his view. Thomas does not know if he hit him. He does not look. He gets up and runs forward. The next hour does not exist in time. It is a series of images without connection. A German soldier with his hands up, crying the same way the American kid cried. A farmhouse with a dead cow in the yard. A French woman standing in a doorway, watching them pass her face completely empty. A field of apple trees, with bodies lying under them, like they decided to take a nap. When darkness comes, Thomas finds himself sitting against a stone wall. He is eating something. He does not know what. He is alive. He does not know how. Around him, hundreds of men move through the night. Trucks rumble past. Officers shout orders. The war continues. It does not stop just because it is dark. Thomas looks at his hands. They are covered in dirt and blood. Some of it is his, most of it is not. He tries to remember the face of the man he shot. He cannot. He tries to remember the face of his mother. That is also difficult. A soldier sits down next to him. It is the crying kid from the beach. He is not crying now. His face is empty. He looks at Thomas. We did it, the kid says. We're alive. Thomas does not answer. He looks at the sky above France. It is the same sky as above Iowa. But it is not the same. Nothing is the same. The sound of artillery rumbles in the distance. It is constant. It is the new normal. It is the background music of this world. Thomas thinks of a rhythm he heard somewhere, a low, pulsating beat. He does not know where he heard it. Maybe in a dream. Maybe in another life. It plays in his head now as he sits against the stone wall in the darkness. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. It matches the artillery. It matches his heartbeat. It matches the footsteps of 1,000,000 young men moving through the night toward a future they cannot see. The kid next to him falls asleep sitting up. His head drops forward. He looks like a child. Thomas stays awake. He stares at the darkness. He listens to the rhythm in his head. He wonders if the man he shot today had a rhythm in his head too. He wonders if it stopped when Thomas pulled the trigger. He will never know. The night goes on. The war goes on. Thomas sits against the wall and becomes someone else. Not the farm boy from Iowa. Someone new. Someone the old him would not recognize. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. The screen holds on his face in the darkness. A face that aged 10 years in one day. A face that will never look at the world the same way again. The rhythm continues, growing louder, swallowing everything, then nothing. Black screen. Silence. The water of Pearl Harbor is the color of gasoline. Rainbows swirl on its surface. But the rainbows are not from oil. They are from fuel. Thousands of gallons of fuel burning on top of the water. Lieutenant Joseph Miller stands on the deck of the USS Arizona. He is 26 years old. He is a naval aviator. He has flown missions off this ship for 18 months. He knows every bolt, every rivet, every inch of this vessel. He was supposed to be ashore this morning. He traded shifts with a friend who wanted to go to church. His friend is now in the water somewhere. Joseph is here. The sound comes first. Not the explosions. Those come later. First comes the sound of engines, but not American engines. These are different, deeper, more throaty. Joseph looks up. The sky is full of airplanes, but they are not American airplanes. They have red circles on their wings. The rising sun. Joseph has seen pictures of these airplanes in intelligence briefings. He never thought he would see them here. Not here. Not on a Sunday morning in Hawaii. The first bomb hits the battleship in front of his, the USS Oklahoma. The sound is not loud. It is more like a punch, a deep thud that Joseph feels in his chest. Then the Oklahoma starts to roll, like a tired animal lying down to sleep. Men are jumping off its deck. Men are on fire. Men are screaming. Joseph cannot move. He stands frozen, watching the Oklahoma roll over. Its bottom appears above the water. Giant propellers still spinning. Men trapped inside, banging on the hull. He can hear the banging from here. 1,000 fists against metal, 1,000 men asking to live. A hand grabs his shoulder and yanks him backward. His chief petty officer, a man named Williams, with a gray mustache and no patience for fear, screams in his face. "Get the guns online, sir, now." Joseph runs. His legs remember how, even if his brain does not. He reaches the anti-aircraft guns. Men are already there, struggling with the ammunition. The guns are not loaded. They were not supposed to need loading. Not on a Sunday morning. He grabs a shell. It is heavy, 40 pounds. He hands it to a gunner who slams it into the breech. The gun fires. The sound is enormous. It clears Joseph's head. He is no longer frozen. He is moving. He is loading. He is alive. Above them, the Japanese planes are so low, he can see the faces of the pilots. They look young. They look focused. They look like they are doing a job. One of them turns his head and looks directly at Joseph. For a fraction of a second, their eyes meet. Then the plane is gone. Joseph wonders if that pilot has a mother. He wonders if that mother knows what her son is doing today. Another explosion. Closer this time. The ship lurches beneath Joseph's feet. He falls. The deck is hot. Too hot. He looks up and sees fire where the superstructure used to be. Men are running past him. Some are on fire. They do not stop running. They just run and burn and scream. Joseph gets up. He does not know where he is going. He just goes. He finds himself at the rail. The water below is on fire. Men are in that water, swimming through fire, drowning under fire, burning on top of fire. A sailor next to Joseph climbs the rail and jumps. He disappears into the flames. Joseph does not see him come up. The ship lurches again. Harder this time. Joseph knows what is happening. He has trained for disasters. He has practiced abandoned ship drills. But no drill prepared him for this. No drill prepared him for the sound of men trapped below decks. No drill prepared him for the smell of burning fuel and burning flesh. He makes a decision. He climbs the rail. He looks down at the water. The fire is everywhere. But there are gaps. Small patches of clear water between the flames. He picks a gap. He jumps. The water is shockingly warm. Not cool. Warm. Because it is on fire. He surfaces. The gap is still there. He swims. He does not know where. He just swims away from the ship. Away from the heat. Away from the sound of banging. Behind him, the USS Arizona rises slightly out of the water, like a man taking a final breath. Then it breaks in half. The sound of that is not loud. It is deep. It is the sound of metal tearing. It is the sound of hundreds of men dying at once. It is a sound Joseph will hear in his dreams for the rest of his life. The explosion throws him forward. The shock wave hits his body like a wall. He goes under. He does not know which way is up. He kicks. He flails. His lungs burn. He finds the surface. He gasps. Around him, debris is falling from the sky. Pieces of his ship. Pieces of his friends. A boot lands in the water next to him. There is still a foot inside it. He swims. He does not stop swimming. He reaches a small boat. Men pull him in. He lies in the bottom of the boat, looking up at the sky. The sky is still full of airplanes, still full of red circles, still full of young men doing their jobs. Someone in the boat is crying. Someone is praying, someone is asking what happened. No one answers because no one knows. How do you explain this? How do you explain that your world ended on a Sunday morning while you were thinking about breakfast? The boat reaches shore. Joseph crawls onto the beach. He lies in the sand. He cannot stand. His legs will not work. He watches the harbor burn. He watches ships sink. He watches men die. A nurse appears next to him. She is young. She is wearing a white uniform that is now covered in blood. She checks his pulse. She looks at his eyes. She moves on to the next man. There are too many men. Too few nurses. Joseph lies in the sand for hours. The sun moves across the sky. The fires burn. The smoke rises. The dead float in the water. When darkness comes, someone helps him to his feet. Someone puts him on a truck. Someone takes him to a hospital. He does not speak. He cannot speak. His voice is somewhere in the water with the men who did not make it. In the hospital, they treat his burns. They give him a bed. They give him food. He does not eat. He stares at the wall. He sees the face of the Japanese pilot who looked at him. He wonders if that pilot is still alive. He wonders if that pilot is staring at a wall somewhere too. A doctor sits next to him. The doctor is old. He has seen war before. He does not say much. He just sits. After a long time, the doctor speaks. You're going to feel this for the rest of your life. It's not going to go away. You're going to learn to carry it. That's all. You just learn to carry it. Joseph looks at the doctor. He wants to say something. He wants to ask how. He wants to ask why. He wants to ask if the banging ever stops. The banging of men trapped inside a sinking ship. The banging of fists against metal. the banging of a world falling apart. He says nothing. The doctor leaves. Joseph lies in the dark and listens. The hospital is quiet. But beneath the quiet there is something else. A low, pulsating rhythm. It comes from somewhere deep, somewhere inside him, somewhere inside this new world. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. It is the sound of the ship breaking. It is the sound of the banging. It is the sound of the pilot's engines. It is the sound of a nation waking up to find itself at war. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Joseph closes his eyes. The rhythm plays on. It will play forever now. It is the bite mark on his neck, the wound that will not heal, the memory that will not fade. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. The screen holds on his face in the darkness of the hospital. Behind his closed eyes, the ships are still burning, the men are still banging, the water is still on fire. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Then nothing. Black screen. Silence. The jungle on Guadalcanal does not stop. It does not end. It does not take a break. It is there when you wake up. It is there when you try to sleep. It is there when you die. The trees are so thick the sun never touches the ground. The air is wet. Not damp. Wet. Like breathing through a sponge. The smell is rot. Everything rots here. The leaves rot. The animals rot. The dead rot. The living rot too, just more slowly. Private Robert Jones has been on this island for 3 weeks. 3 weeks that feel like 300 years. He is 19 years old. He is from Mississippi. He has never seen a jungle before. He never wanted to see one. Now he lives in it. He sleeps in it. He fights in it. He shits in it. The jungle is his world now. The world he knew before is gone. He sits with his back against a tree. His uniform is soaked through. It has been soaked through for 3 weeks. His feet are rotting. He can smell them. Everyone's feet rot here. Trench foot, they call it. The skin turns white, then green, then black, then it falls off. He tries not to look at his feet. Around him, the other men in his squad do the same things he does. They sit, they stare, they wait. They have been waiting for 3 days. Waiting for the Japanese to attack, waiting to attack the Japanese, waiting for something to happen. The waiting is its own kind of war. A bird screams somewhere in the trees. Everyone flinches. Everyone's hand moves toward their rifle. The bird screams again. It is just a bird. But on this island, nothing is just anything. Every sound could be death. Every shadow could be the last thing you see. Sergeant Washington moves through the trees. He is the only man in the squad who seems comfortable here. He is from Louisiana. Swamp country. He says this jungle is just a swamp with bigger trees. He says the key is to become part of it. Stop fighting it. Let it hold you. Washington squats next to Robert. He does not speak. He just looks at Robert's feet. He shakes his head. You gotta change your socks, Jones. You gotta keep your feet dry. Robert looks at his feet. They are wrapped in rags now. His socks rotted away days ago. He has no dry socks. There are no dry socks on this island. There is nothing dry on this island. Can't, Robert says, or tries to say. His voice comes out as a croak. Washington nods. He knows. He reaches into his pack and pulls out a pair of socks. They are damp, but less damp than Robert's rags. He hands them over. Put these on. Keep what you got left. Robert takes the socks. He wants to thank Washington, but the words get stuck somewhere between his brain and his mouth. He just nods. Washington nods back. That is enough. The attack comes at night. It always comes at night. The Japanese do not fight during the day if they can help it. They come at night when the darkness is complete, when the jungle plays tricks on your eyes, when every sound is a threat. Robert is half asleep when the first mortar round hits. The explosion is close, too close. Dirt and debris rain down on him. He is on his feet before he knows he moved. His rifle is in his hands. He does not remember picking it up. The night erupts. Tracers cut through the darkness like red fingers reaching for something to touch. Explosions light up the trees, creating shadows that dance and shift and lie. Men scream, not battle cries, just screams, the sound of humans being torn apart. Robert fires his rifle. He does not see what he is shooting at. He just shoots. The rifle kicks. He works the bolt. He shoots again. The motions are automatic. His body knows what to do even if his mind has left the building. A shape appears in front of him. It is a man. Japanese. Young. Maybe 16. His rifle is raised. His mouth is open in a scream Robert cannot hear over the noise. They are 10 feet apart. They look at each other. Robert shoots first. The boy falls. Robert does not watch him fall. He is already moving, already looking for the next shape, already trying to stay alive. The fighting goes on for hours or minutes. Robert cannot tell anymore. Time does not work here. It stretches and compresses like something alive. There is only the next second, only the next shot, only the next breath. Then it stops. The silence is worse than the noise. It comes suddenly. One moment the world is exploding. The next moment there is nothing. Just the ringing in his ears and the sound of his own breathing. Robert stands in the darkness. He does not know where he is. He does not know where his squad is. He does not know if he is alive or dead. He touches his chest. No holes. He is alive. He walks. He does not know in which direction. He just walks. His feet hurt. His feet always hurt. He steps over bodies. Some are Japanese. Some are American. In the darkness, they look the same. They are just shapes. Just meat. Just boys who will not go home. He finds Sergeant Washington sitting against a tree. Washington is smoking a cigarette. The orange glow lights his face from below, making him look like a demon. He looks up as Robert approaches. "You hit?" Robert shakes his head. He tries to speak. He cannot. Washington pats the ground next to him. Robert sits. Washington offers him the cigarette. Robert takes it. He has never smoked before. He smokes now. The smoke burns his lungs, but it is a good burn. It is a burn that means he is alive. They sit in the darkness and smoke. Around them, the jungle begins to make noise again. The insects, the birds, the animals. The jungle does not care about the fighting. The jungle just keeps going. Dawn comes slowly. Gray light seeps through the trees like water through a sieve. Robert begins to see what is around him. Bodies. So many bodies. Some are so close he could have touched them in the night. He did not know they were there. He looks at the boy he shot. The boy is lying on his back. His eyes are open. He looks surprised. Like he did not expect this to happen. Like he thought he would be the one walking away. Robert looks at the boy's face for a long time. He tries to feel something, sorrow, guilt, anger. He feels nothing, just emptiness. Just the space where feelings used to live. Washington stands up. He looks at the bodies. He looks at the sky. He looks at Robert. This is it, Jones. This is what it is. Every day. Every night. Until we win, or until we die. You understand? Robert understands. He understood 3 weeks ago. He understood the moment he stepped off the boat into this green hell. This is not a war you win. This is a war you survive. If you are lucky. They move out. They always move out. There is always another patrol, another attack, another night. The jungle does not end. The war does not end. It just keeps going like something alive that needs to eat. Robert walks. His feet hurt. His body hurts. His mind is somewhere else, somewhere far away from this island. Somewhere there is sun and dry ground and boys who have not learned to kill. He hears it again. The rhythm. It has been with him since the first night, since the first attack. It plays in his head when he walks, when he fights, when he tries to sleep. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. It is the sound of his heart. It is the sound of the mortars. It is the sound of the jungle breathing. It is the sound of the war chewing up boys and spitting out soldiers. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. He walks into the green darkness. The rhythm walks with him. It will walk with him forever now. It is the beat of his new life, the only life he has left. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. The screen holds on his back as he disappears into the jungle. The trees close behind him. The sound of the rhythm fades, but does not stop. It becomes one with the sounds of the island, the birds, the insects, the wind, the war. Da-dum, da-dum. Da-dum? Then nothing? Black screen. Silence. The factory in Detroit is louder than the jungle. Not the same kind of loud. The jungle screamed. The factory roars. It roars without stopping. It roars all day and all night. Machines stamp. Conveyors rumble. Welding torches hiss. The sound gets inside you. It becomes your blood, your breath, your heartbeat. Eleanor Thompson stands at her station. She is 34 years old. Before the war, she was a housewife. She cooked, she cleaned, she raised 2 children. Now she builds B-24 Liberator bombers. She drills rivets into aluminum skin. She does this 8 hours a day, sometimes 10, sometimes 12. The war does not care about hours. Her hands are scarred. Small cuts from sharp metal, burns from hot tools, calluses from gripping the rivet gun. Her hands used to be soft. That was another life, another woman. The bomber takes shape around her. Sections of fuselage. Wings that will someday carry men over oceans. Nose art painted by men in another part of the factory. Pin-up girls with names like Lucky Lady and Sweet Sue. Eleanor does not look at the nose art. She looks at the rivets. She makes sure each one is perfect. If a rivet fails at 20,000 feet, men die. She does not want men to die because of her. The woman next to Eleanor is named Doris. Doris is 19. She came from a farm in Ohio. Her brother was killed at a place called Kasserine Pass. She does not talk about it. She just works. Faster than anyone, harder than anyone, the rivet gun in her hands is her brother's revenge. The foreman walks past. He is an old man named Mr. Fletcher, who worked here for 30 years before the war. He should be retired, but there is no retirement now. There is only the factory, only the bombers, only the war. He stops at Eleanor's station. He holds out a telegram. His face is careful, empty. "This came for you, Mrs. Thompson?" Eleanor takes the telegram. She does not open it. She knows what it is. Everyone knows what a telegram means. The yellow envelope, the Western Union logo, the way the delivery boy looks at the ground when he hands it over. She stands there holding it. The factory roars around her. The machines keep stamping. The conveyors keep moving. The war does not stop for telegrams. Doris looks at her. Doris knows. Doris has already gotten her telegram. It came 3 months ago. She did not stop working. She came back the next day. She works harder now. "Open it," Doris says. Not loud, just loud enough. Eleanor opens the telegram. She reads it. Her face does not change. Her hands do not shake. She folds it carefully and puts it in the pocket of her coveralls. She picks up her rivet gun. She drills the next rivet, then the next, then the next. Doris watches her for a moment. Then she goes back to work. The shift ends at 6 o'clock. The machines do not stop, but the women leave. They walk out into the Detroit evening. The sky is gray with factory smoke. The streets are full of women walking home, women in coveralls, women with scarves on their heads, women with tired eyes and sore hands. Eleanor walks home alone. She passes houses with gold stars in the windows. Gold stars mean a son dead. Gold stars mean a husband gone. There are many gold stars now, more every week. She reaches her house, a small bungalow on a street of small bungalows. She opens the door. The house is quiet, too quiet. It used to be filled with noise. Her son Tommy running through the halls, her daughter Sarah practicing piano, her husband James reading the newspaper in his chair. Tommy is 7 years old. He is staying with Eleanor's mother in Ohio. It is safer there, away from the factory, away from the city, away from the war that takes everything. Sarah is 15. She is at her friend's house. She is always at her friend's house. She does not like being home. The silence is too loud for her. James is gone. James was a lieutenant in the army. James landed at a place called Anzio. James died on a beach in Italy. The telegram in Eleanor's pocket says he died bravely. The telegram does not say how he died. It does not say if he suffered. It does not say if he called for her. Eleanor sits in James's chair. She does not turn on the lights. She sits in the dark and listens to the silence. Outside the window, the factory lights glow against the night sky. The factory never sleeps. The war never sleeps. She reaches into her pocket and takes out the telegram. She reads it again. The words are the same. They do not change no matter how many times she reads them. The Department of War regrets to inform you. Lieutenant James Thompson was killed in action, serving his country, making the ultimate sacrifice. The Secretary of Defense extends his deepest sympathy. She folds the telegram again. She puts it back in her pocket. She sits in the dark and does not cry. She cannot cry. The tears are somewhere deep inside her, but they cannot find the way out. She thinks about James, about his laugh, about the way he snored, about the last time she saw him. He was wearing his uniform. He looked scared, but he tried not to show it. He kissed her at the door. He said he would be back before she knew it. That was 8 months ago. She gets up. She walks to the kitchen. She opens the refrigerator. There is food inside. She is not hungry. She closes the refrigerator. She stands in the dark kitchen and listens to the house. In Tommy's room, his toys are still on the shelf. The little wooden airplanes he used to love. He would fly them around the room, making engine sounds with his mouth. He wanted to be a pilot when he grew up. Eleanor does not know if she can let him be a pilot now. She does not know if she can let him be anything that might take him away. In Sarah's room, there are pictures on the wall. Pictures of movie stars. Pictures of friends. A picture of James in his uniform. Sarah looks at that picture every night before bed. Sarah does not talk about James. She just looks. Eleanor goes back to James's chair. She sits down. She picks up the newspaper from the table beside her. The headline is about the fighting in Italy, about the advance toward Rome, about the brave boys pushing the enemy back. The newspaper does not mention James. James is just one of thousands. One of the brave boys who will not come home. She puts the newspaper down. She closes her eyes. The silence presses against her like something heavy, something that wants to crush her. Then she hears it. Faint at first, coming from somewhere far away, or somewhere deep inside. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. It is the rhythm of the factory, the machines stamping, the conveyors moving, the war being built piece by piece. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. It is the rhythm of her heart, beating even though half of it is gone, beating even though James will never hold her again. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. It is the rhythm of the telegrams, thousands of them every day, millions of them by the time this is over. Each one a family shattered, each one a woman sitting alone in the dark. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Eleanor opens her eyes. She looks at the clock. It is almost 7. Sarah will be home soon. She will need dinner. She will need her mother to be strong. Eleanor stands up. She walks to the kitchen. She turns on the light. She opens the refrigerator again. She takes out food. She begins to cook. Her hands move automatically. The same hands that drill rivets all day. The same hands that held James's face the last time she saw him. She cooks. She does not taste the food. She does not eat. She just cooks. For Sarah. For the daughter who still needs her. For the life that continues even when you want it to stop. The front door opens. Sarah's footsteps in the hall. She appears in the kitchen doorway. She looks at her mother. She looks at the food on the stove. She does not ask about the telegram. She already knows. The gold star hanging in the window of a neighbor's house. The way the women at school look at her now. The absence that fills every room. Sarah crosses the kitchen. She puts her arms around her mother. They stand there in the warm light of the kitchen, holding each other. Not crying, just holding. The rhythm plays on. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. It is the sound of the factory, the sound of the war, the sound of the message coming from Eleanor's eyes. The message that says, I am still here. I am still working. I am still alive even though I want to die. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. The screen holds on them. Mother and daughter in the kitchen. The food cooking on the stove. The telegram in Eleanor's pocket. The war outside the window. Da-dum, 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 then nothing. Black screen. Silence. The landing craft moves through gray water toward a gray beach under a gray sky. The world has lost its color. There is only gray. Gray water. Gray sand. Gray smoke. Gray faces. Private Thomas Mitchell is in the second wave. He has been in France for 11 months. He has fought through hedgerows and villages and fields. He has watched friends die. He has killed men he never saw. He has become someone his mother would not recognize. Today he is going to a place called Omaha Beach. Today he is going to see what hell looks like. The boat carries 30 men. They are packed together like cattle. No one speaks. There is nothing to say. They have all heard the stories. They have all seen the photographs. They know what is waiting for them on that beach. They go anyway, because there is no other way to go. Thomas looks at the men around him, boys really. Most are younger than him, 18, 19, 20. They are from farms and cities and towns all over America. They have different accents, different backgrounds, different reasons for being here. But in this boat, they are the same. They are all scared. They are all trying not to show it. The engine sputters. The boat slows. The ramp is about to drop. Thomas checks his rifle for the 100th time. It is wet. Everything is wet. The water is freezing, the sky is cold. The only warmth is the fear burning in his chest. The ramp drops. The world explodes. Machine gun fire tears into the boat before anyone can move. Men are cut down where they stand. Their bodies fall into the water, turning it red. Thomas jumps. He does not think. He just jumps. He hits the water and goes under. The water is so cold it stops his heart for a second. He kicks. He surfaces. He breathes. The beach is a nightmare. Bodies everywhere. Some moving, some not. Burning vehicles. Smoking wreckage. Men screaming for medics. Men screaming for their mothers. Men screaming because they cannot stop screaming. Thomas runs. He does not know where. He just runs. Bullets hit the water around him. They make little splashes like rain, but rain does not kill you. He runs harder. His legs burn. His lungs burn. His heart is a fist pounding against his ribs. He reaches a sandbank, a low ridge of sand that offers some protection. He throws himself behind it. For a moment he is still. For a moment he breathes. He looks around. There are maybe 20 men here. Some are wounded. Some are dead. The rest stare at the beach with eyes that have seen too much. A lieutenant crawls over to Thomas. His face is covered in blood, but he does not seem to notice. He points up the beach toward the cliffs. We have to get off this beach. We have to take out those machine guns. Thomas looks where the lieutenant is pointing. The cliffs rise above the beach. From the top, German machine guns fire down at the men below. Every few seconds, another man falls. Another body adds to the pile. How? Thomas asks. The lieutenant shakes his head. He does not know. No one knows. They just know they have to try. Thomas looks at the men around him. They are not soldiers anymore. They are just scared boys hiding behind a pile of sand. But they are the only army they have. He stands up. He does not know why. His legs just move. He starts running toward the cliffs. Behind him, he hears others follow. He does not look back. He cannot look back. If he looks back, he will see them die, and he will stop. The machine gun fire shifts toward them. Bullets kick up sand at his feet. He zigzags. He runs low. He does everything they taught him in training. It does not matter. The bullets do not care about training. They just care about hitting something. A man to his left goes down. Thomas does not stop. A man to his right screams and falls. Thomas does not stop. He keeps running. The cliffs get closer. The machine guns get louder. The world narrows to the next step, the next breath, the next heartbeat. He reaches the base of the cliffs. There is cover here. Rocks, caves, places where the guns cannot reach. He collapses against a rock and tries to breathe. Other men arrive behind him. Some are wounded. Some are whole. All are alive, which is more than can be said for the thousands still on the beach. The lieutenant appears. He is still bleeding. He is still moving. We have to find a way up. There has to be a path. They spread out, searching the base of the cliffs. Thomas moves along the rock face, looking for any opening, any crack, any way up. He finds a small path. It is steep. It is exposed in places. But it goes up. Lieutenant! Over here! The lieutenant comes running. He looks at the path. He looks at Thomas. He nods. Take point. Go slow. Watch for traps. Thomas starts climbing. The path is narrow. Loose rocks slide under his boots. Below him, the beach stretches out like a picture of hell. Burning, dying, screaming. He does not look down. He looks up. He keeps climbing. Halfway up, the path opens onto a small ledge. Thomas stops. He signals to the men behind him. He peers over the ledge. 50 yards away, a machine gun nest fires down at the beach. The Germans inside have no idea Thomas is here. He turns to the lieutenant. He points at the nest. The lieutenant nods. He spreads his men out along the ledge. They prepare to attack. Thomas checks his rifle. He has 4 grenades on his belt. He pulls one. He pulls the pin. He counts to 3. He throws. The grenade arcs through the air and lands inside the nest. The explosion is muffled by the sandbags, but Thomas sees bodies fly. He is up and running before the dirt settles. The other men follow. They reach the nest. The Germans inside are dead or dying. Thomas does not stop to look. He keeps moving. There are more nests, more guns, more boys who need to die so his boys can live. The next hour is a blur of movement and noise and blood. They clear one nest, then another, then another. Each time, the same thing. Grenades, rifles, death. Thomas stops counting how many men he kills. It does not matter. They are all just numbers now. Numbers that add up to survival. When it is over, Thomas sits on the edge of a cliff, looking down at the beach. The firing has stopped. Men are moving inland. Medics tend to the wounded. The invasion is working. They have broken through. The lieutenant sits next to him. His face is still bloody, but he is smiling. A tired, broken smile, but a smile. We did it. We actually did it. Thomas does not answer. He looks at the beach, at the bodies, at the burning landing craft, at the waves washing over men who will never go home. He thinks about the boat this morning. 30 men packed together, scared and silent. He wonders how many are still alive. He counts in his head. The man next to him who vomited. The kid from Chicago who kept saying his mother's name. The sergeant who told them all to keep their heads down. Thomas does not know their names. He will never know. The sun breaks through the clouds. For the first time today there is light. It falls on the beach, on the bodies, on the water, on the men still fighting further inland. Thomas hears it again. The rhythm. It has been with him all day, all year, all war. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. It is the sound of the machine guns, the sound of the grenades, the sound of the men screaming, the sound of the world breaking. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. He looks at his hands. They are shaking. They have been shaking for hours. He does not know if they will ever stop. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. The lieutenant stands up. He offers Thomas a hand. Come on, we still have a war to win. Thomas takes the hand. He stands. He looks one more time at the beach, at the break, at the place where the world changed. Then he turns and walks inland, toward the rest of the war, toward whatever comes next. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. The screen holds on his back as he walks away from the cliff. Below him, the beach burns. Above him, the sky clears. Around him, the war continues. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Then nothing. Black screen. Silence. The concentration camp is not what anyone expected. The soldiers who liberate it have imagined many things. They have imagined fierce battles. They have imagined grateful prisoners. They have imagined cheering and crying and joy. They have not imagined this. Private David Goldman walks through the gates of a place called Dachau. He is 23 years old. He is from Brooklyn. His parents came from Germany 25 years ago. They left because they could see what was coming. They left because they were smart. They left because they were lucky. David thinks about this as he walks past bodies stacked like firewood. The smell hits him first. It is not like anything he has ever smelled. It is sweet and rotten and chemical all at once. It is the smell of death. Not one death. Thousands of deaths. Tens of thousands. Death baked into the soil. Death soaked into the walls. Death hanging in the air like fog. He covers his mouth with his sleeve. It does not help. The smell is inside him now. It will never leave. The prisoners are everywhere. They stand behind fences. They lie on the ground. They stare at the American soldiers with eyes that are too big for their faces. They are skeletons wrapped in skin. They are living ghosts. They are proof that hell exists on earth. A man approaches David. He is wearing striped pajamas. He is so thin David can see every bone in his face. The man speaks in German. David's parents spoke German at home when they did not want the children to understand. David understands enough. "Are you real?" the man asks. David nods. He cannot speak. The man reaches out a trembling hand and touches David's arm. He feels the fabric of the uniform. He feels the flesh beneath. He starts to cry. Not loud, just tears running down his hollow cheeks. "Real," the man whispers. "Real." He falls to his knees. David kneels with him. He puts his arms around the man. The man weighs nothing. He is paper and bone and suffering. David holds him and does not know what to say. There are no words for this. There will never be words for this. Other soldiers move through the camp. Some are vomiting. Some are crying. Some are just standing still, staring at nothing. A chaplain walks among the bodies, making the sign of the cross again and again and again. There are too many bodies for one man to bless. David helps the man to his feet. He leads him toward a medical station set up just outside the gates. On the way, they pass a train of cattle cars. The cars are full of bodies, more bodies than David can count. They are piled on top of each other. They are wearing the same striped pajamas. They are all starved. They are all dead. The man looks at the train. He looks at David. "I was on that train," he says, 3 days ago. We had no water, no food. Many died. I thought I would die too. Then the train stopped. Then the Americans came. Then you." He touches David's arm again, as if to make sure he is still there. David wants to ask the man his name. He wants to ask where he is from. He wants to ask if he has family. He wants to ask so many things. But he cannot speak. His voice is somewhere in the cattle cars with the dead. He leaves the man at the medical station. He walks back into the camp. He has to see. He has to understand. He does not know why. He just knows he cannot look away. He finds the barracks. Long wooden buildings filled with bunks stacked 3 high. The bunks are full of prisoners too weak to move. Some are dead. Some are dying. Some are somehow still alive. A woman lies on a bottom bunk. She holds a photograph in her hand. It is a photograph of a family, a husband, 2 children, herself before this place, before the bones showed through her skin. She looks at David. She holds up the photograph. She points to the children. "They are gone," she says. "They took them. The first day." David nods. He does not know if she can see him. Her eyes are cloudy, almost blind. But she keeps looking at him, keeps holding the photograph. He reaches out and takes her hand. It is cold, so cold. He holds it between his own hands, trying to warm it. She closes her eyes. For a moment she looks peaceful. For a moment she is not in this place. She dies holding his hand. He does not realize it at first. He just keeps holding, keeps trying to warm her. Then a medic touches his shoulder and gently takes the woman's hand from his. The medic closes her eyes. He covers her face with a blanket. David stands. He walks out of the barracks. He walks past the bodies, past the living skeletons, past the soldiers who are trying to help. He walks until he reaches a wall. He puts his hands on the wall and leans forward. He breathes. He tries to breathe. The air is poison, but he breathes anyway. Sergeant Washington appears beside him. Washington has been with him since Guadalcanal, since the jungle, since the beginning. Washington's face is gray. He has seen things today that will never leave him. "You okay, Goldman?" David shakes his head. He is not okay. He will never be okay. None of them will ever be okay again. Washington nods. He understands. He puts a hand on David's shoulder. "We got to keep moving. There's more. There's always more." David knows this is true. He pushes off from the wall. He walks back into the camp. He does not know how he keeps walking. He just does. They spend the rest of the day helping, distributing food, carrying the weak to the medical stations, burying the dead. There are too many dead. They will be burying for weeks. As evening falls, David finds himself in a courtyard. There are bodies here too. But there is also something else. A monument. A statue of an angel. The angel is carved from white stone. It stands in the middle of the courtyard with its wings spread. Its face is calm, peaceful. It looks nothing like this place. David stands before the angel. He thinks about the woman who died holding his hand. He thinks about the man from the train. He thinks about the children in the photograph. He thinks about his parents in Brooklyn, who left this country 25 years ago. Who knew? Who somehow knew? He hears it. The rhythm. It has been with him through the jungle, through the beach, through all of it. But now it sounds different. Now it sounds like something else. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. It is the sound of the trains that brought millions to this place, the trains that never stopped coming. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. It is the sound of the ovens that burned the bodies, the ovens that turned people into smoke. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. It is the sound of his heart, beating in a world that allowed this to happen, beating in a world that will never be the same. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. He looks at the angel. The angel looks back with empty stone eyes. The angel does not answer. The angel does not explain. The angel just stands there, beautiful and useless, while the world burns. David turns away from the angel. He walks out of the courtyard. He walks past the barracks, past the medical stations, past the train. He walks until he reaches the gate. The gate through which he entered this place this morning. It feels like years ago. He stops at the gate. He looks back at the camp, at the barbed wire, at the watchtowers, at the living ghosts still moving among the dead. He touches his neck. There is no wound there, but he feels something. A mark, a bite. Something that will never heal. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. He walks through the gate. He leaves the camp behind. But the camp does not leave him. It never will. It is the bite mark on his neck, the wound that will not close, the memory that will not fade. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. The screen holds on his face as he walks away. Behind him, the camp burns with the fires of the ovens. Above him, the sky darkens. Around him, the war continues. But something has ended. Something has been lost that will never be found again. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Then nothing. Black screen. Silence. Приступаем к 8-й финальной главе. Помни о всех найденных недочетах ошибка. И нужно максимально близко к 10 баллам по всем параметрам. Не пиши диалоги. Пиши как можно длиннее и интереснее. Итак, 8 глава. Chapter 8. The Homecoming. The ship cuts through gray Atlantic water toward a gray horizon. It is filled with men. Thousands of men. Men who have not seen America in years. Men who have seen things no one should see. Men who are going home, but do not know how to be home. Private Thomas Mitchell stands at the rail. He is 23 years old. He left America when he was 20. He has been gone for 3 years. 3 years that feel like 300. He has fought in Africa and Italy and France. He has killed more men than he can count. He has watched friends die. He has died himself in every way that matters. The body that stands at this rail is just a shell. The real Thomas died somewhere in the jungle, or on the beach, or in the snow. He does not know where. He only knows he is not the same. Around him, other men stand at the rail. They all stare at the same horizon. They all wait for the same first sight of land. No one speaks. There is nothing to say. They have all been through the same thing. They all carry the same weight. Words cannot carry that weight. Only silence can. The man next to Thomas is named Robert Jones. Robert was at Guadalcanal. He was at Okinawa. His hands shake constantly now. They have shaken since the jungle. The doctors say it is shell shock. They say it might get better. They say it might not. Robert does not care anymore. He just wants to see his mother. He just wants to sleep in a bed that does not move. He just wants the shaking to stop. Further along the rail stands David Goldman. David was at Dachau. He saw things that cannot be unseen. He smells things that cannot be unsmelled. He carries photographs in his pocket. Photographs he took at the camp. He does not know why he took them. He only knows he cannot throw them away. Someone needs to remember. Someone needs to know. These 3 men do not know each other. They fought in different places at different times. But they are the same. They are all survivors. They are all ghosts. They are all going home to people who will not understand them. The fog lifts. Someone shouts, "Land! Land ahead!" The men crowd the rail. They strain to see, and there it is. America. The Statue of Liberty rising from the water. Small at first, then larger. Then so close they can see the torch. The torch that has welcomed millions before them. The torch that means they are home. Some men cheer, some cry, some just stand and stare. Thomas does neither. He watches the statue grow and feels nothing. He has felt nothing. For so long he does not remember what feeling is supposed to be like. The ship docks in New York. The pier is crowded with people. Thousands of people. Wives and mothers and fathers and children. They hold signs. They wave flags. They cry and laugh and scream. They are looking for their men, their boys, their husbands, their fathers. Thomas walks down the gangplank. His legs are unsteady. He has been on a ship for 2 weeks. The ground feels wrong, too solid, too still. He reaches the pier and stops. He looks at the crowd. Hundreds of faces. None of them are his. His mother is in Iowa. She could not afford the trip. She wrote him a letter saying she would wait for him at home. She said she would have apple pie. She said she could not wait to see her boy. Thomas wrote back that he could not wait to see her. He lied. He is terrified to see her. He is terrified she will look at him and see a stranger. Robert finds his mother in the crowd. She is small and gray and crying. She runs to him and throws her arms around him. He stands stiffly. His arms hang at his sides. He does not know how to hug anymore. Hugging was not something they did in the jungle. After a long moment, he slowly raises his shaking hands and places them on her back. She cries harder. He stares over her shoulder at nothing. David finds no one. His parents are in Brooklyn, but they did not come. They sent a letter saying they would wait at home. They said they were too old for crowds. David knows the truth. They are afraid. Afraid of what he has become. Afraid of what he saw. Afraid of the things he might bring home with him. The crowd slowly thins. Families leave together. Mothers with sons. Wives with husbands. Children with fathers they barely remember. The pier empties until only a few men remain. Men with no one waiting. Men who do not know where to go. Thomas takes a train to Iowa. 3 days sitting in a crowded car with other soldiers going home. They do not talk. They just sit and stare and smoke and wait. The country rolls past the window. Farms and towns and rivers and hills. It looks the same as when he left. But it is not the same. Nothing is the same. He gets off the train in a small town. His town. Population 400. He stands on the platform and looks around. The grain elevator. The water tower. The church steeple. All the same. He walks down Main Street. The drugstore. The hardware store. The diner. All the same. People see him. They wave. They smile. They call his name. "Welcome home, Tommy. Good to have you back, boy." He waves back. He smiles. The smile does not reach his eyes. His eyes are somewhere else. Somewhere far away. He reaches his house. The small farmhouse at the edge of town. His mother is on the porch. She is wearing her best dress. She has been waiting all day. She sees him coming down the road and she starts to cry. She runs toward him. He stops. He watches her come. She is smaller than he remembers. Older. Grayer. She reaches him and throws her arms around him. She sobs into his chest. She says his name over and over, "Thomas, Thomas, my Thomas." He stands there, his arms at his sides. He wants to hold her. He wants to cry. He wants to feel something, anything, but there is nothing. Just emptiness. Just the space where feelings used to live. After a long time, she pulls back and looks at his face. She sees the lines, the scars, the emptiness in his eyes. She sees that her boy is gone, that this man standing before her is someone else. Someone the war made. She takes his hand. She leads him into the house. There is apple pie on the table. There is a clean bed made up in his old room. There are photographs on the wall of the boy he used to be. He sits at the table. He looks at the pie he cannot eat. His stomach turns at the thought of food. He looks at his mother. She is watching him with eyes that have cried too much. "It's okay," she says. "You're home now. It's okay." He wants to tell her it is not okay. He wants to tell her about the bodies, about the screams, about the things he did, about the things he saw. He wants to tell her that home does not exist anymore, that home died somewhere in a jungle or on a beach or in a snowy forest, that he is just a ghost visiting a place that used to be his life. He says nothing. That night, he lies in his old bed. The bed is soft. Too soft. He is used to the ground. He is used to the cold. He lies still and stares at the ceiling. The ceiling he stared at as a boy, dreaming of adventure. He found adventure. He wishes he had not. Through the wall he hears his mother crying. She cries quietly so he will not hear. But he hears. He hears everything now. Every sound is amplified. Every creak, every whisper, every breath. He closes his eyes. Behind his eyelids the war plays on. The jungle, the beach, the snow, the faces of men he killed, the faces of friends who died, the faces of strangers who suffered. They are all there. They will always be there. He hears it. The rhythm. It has been with him through everything, through the fighting and the dying and the surviving. It is part of him now. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. It is the sound of his heartbeat, still beating after everything. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. It is the sound of the trains, the ships, the guns, the bombs, the screams. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. It is the sound of a generation that went to war and came back different. A generation that carried the weight of the world on their young shoulders. A generation that would never be the same. The screen cuts to images, quick cuts, flashes of memory, Thomas in the jungle, Robert on the beach, David at the camp, Eleanor in the factory, Samuel in the rubble, Joseph in the water, all of them, all the faces from this story. They flash by faster and faster. The rhythm builds. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Then the images slow. One final image. A cemetery. Rows and rows of white crosses. As far as the eye can see. Men and women in black stand among the crosses. They are old now. Gray. Bent. They place flowers. They touch the names carved in stone. The camera moves closer to one cross. The name is worn by weather and time. Unreadable. But the camera keeps moving. Closer. Closer. Until the cross fills the screen. Until the white stone is all there is. The rhythm fades. Slowly. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Softer now, fainter, like a heartbeat growing distant. A final da-dum, almost silent. Then nothing. The screen holds on the white cross. Silent. Still. Forever. Black screen. Silence. For 10 seconds. 20. 30. Then the words appear. White text on black. This was not a story about war. This was a story about people. People who lived. People who died. People who came home, but never really left. They are gone now. But the rhythm remains. Da-dum, 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 listen. The screen goes black. Silence. The end. The ship cuts through gray water toward a gray horizon. It is a transport ship converted from carrying troops to carrying them home. There are thousands of men on board. Men who have not seen America in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Men who left as boys and are returning as something else. Something the books do not have a name for. Private Thomas Mitchell stands at the rail. He is 23 years old. He left when he was 20. In those 3 years, he has been to Africa and Italy and France and Belgium and Germany. He has killed 47 men. He knows the number because he counted. Not because he wanted to, but because he could not stop counting. They come to him at night. 47 faces. 47 men who will never go home. He does not stand with the other men. He stands apart. He has stood apart for a long time now. The other soldiers sense it about him. Something broken. Something that cannot be fixed. They leave him alone. It is better that way. The man to his left is named Robert Jones. Robert was at Guadalcanal. He was at Tarawa. He was at Iwo Jima. His hands shake constantly now. He holds onto the rail to hide it, but the shaking travels up his arms into his shoulders. He has not slept through the night in 2 years. Every time he closes his eyes, he is back in the jungle. He hears things, sees things. He wakes up screaming. The men in his bunk do not complain anymore. They just roll over and wait for it to stop. Further along the rail stands David Goldman. David was at Dachau. He was at Buchenwald. He was at Mauthausen. He saw things that do not exist in any world that should be allowed to exist. He took photographs. Hundreds of photographs. He carries them in his pack. He does not know why. He only knows that someone has to remember. Someone has to tell the story. If everyone forgets, then it can happen again. He will not let it happen again. These 3 men do not know each other. They fought in different places. They saw different horrors. But they are the same. They are all empty. They are all full. Empty of the boys they used to be. Full of things that cannot be spoken. The fog lifts. A shout goes up from the bow. Land. Land ho. The men crowd the rail. They push and shove to see, and then they see it. The Statue of Liberty, rising out of the morning mist, green and huge and beautiful, the torch held high, the symbol of everything they fought for, everything they survived for. Some men cheer, some men cry, some fall to their knees on the deck, some just stare, with eyes that have seen too much. Thomas does not cheer. He does not cry. He stares at the statue and feels nothing. He has felt nothing for so long he has forgotten what feeling is supposed to be like. He tries to feel something, joy, relief, gratitude. There is nothing. Just emptiness. Just the space where his heart used to be. Robert's hands shake harder. He is home. He is actually home. He thought this moment would never come. He thought he would die on some island that no one back home could find on a map. But he is here. He is alive. He is home. David looks at the statue and thinks of the photographs in his pack. He thinks of the faces of the dead. He thinks of the living skeletons who smiled when the Americans came. He thinks of the smell. The smell will never leave him. It is in his clothes, his hair, his skin, his soul. The ship docks at a pier in New York. The pier is packed with people, thousands of them. They hold signs, they wave flags, they cry and laugh and scream. They are looking for their men, their boys, their husbands, their fathers, their brothers. The gangplank lowers. The men begin to disembark. They walk down into the crowd, into the arms of waiting families, into a world that has no idea what they have been through. Thomas walks down the gangplank. His legs are unsteady. He has been on a ship for 12 days. The ground feels wrong, too solid, too still. He reaches the bottom and stops. He looks at the crowd. Hundreds of faces. None of them are his. His mother is in Iowa. She could not afford the train ticket. She wrote him a letter saying she would wait for him at home. She said she would have apple pie. She said she could not wait to hold her boy. Thomas wrote back that he could not wait to see her. He lied. He is terrified to see her. He is terrified she will look at him and see a stranger. He is terrified he will look at her and feel nothing. Robert finds his mother in the crowd. She is small and old and crying. She runs to him and throws her arms around him. He stands frozen. His arms hang at his sides. He does not know how to hug anymore. Hugging was not something they did in the jungle. You did not hug your friends. You carried them when they died. You buried them when you could. You did not hug. His mother does not notice. She just holds him and sobs. After a long moment, his shaking arms slowly rise and wrap around her. He feels her warmth, her smallness, her love. Something cracks inside him, something he has kept locked away for years. Tears come. He does not try to stop them. He cries into his mother's hair and does not care who sees. David finds no one. His parents are in Brooklyn, but they did not come. They sent a letter saying they would wait at home. They are afraid. Afraid of what he has become. Afraid of the things he might tell them. Afraid of the things he might have done. David understands. He is afraid too. The crowd slowly thins. Families leave together. The pier empties until only a few men remain. Men with no one waiting. Men who do not know where to go. Men who stand alone in the place that is supposed to be home. Thomas takes a train to Iowa. 3 days sitting in a crowded car with other soldiers going home. They do not talk. They just sit and stare and smoke and wait. The country rolls past the window. farms and towns and rivers and hills. It looks exactly the same as when he left, but it is not the same. Nothing is the same. The trees are the same. The fields are the same. But he is different. The world looks different through eyes that have seen what he has seen. He gets off the train in a small town. His town, population 400. He stands on the platform and looks around. The grain elevator, the water tower, the church steeple, all exactly as he remembers. He walks down Main Street, the drugstore, the hardware store, the diner, all the same. People see him, they wave, they smile, they call his name. "Welcome home, Tommy. Good to have you back, boy." He waves back. He smiles. The smile does not reach his eyes. His eyes are somewhere else, somewhere far away, somewhere across an ocean. He reaches his house, the small farmhouse at the edge of town. White paint, green shutters, a porch with a swing. His mother is on the porch. She is wearing her best dress. She has been waiting all day. She sees him coming down the road and she starts to cry. She runs toward him. He stops. He watches her come. She is smaller than he remembers. Older. Her hair is gray now. It was brown when he left. Her face is lined with worry and fear and the endless waiting for news. She reaches him and throws her arms around him. She sobs into his chest. She says his name over and over. Thomas. Thomas. My Thomas. My boy. My baby. He stands there, his arms at his sides. He wants to hold her. He wants to cry. He wants to feel something. Anything. But there is nothing. Just emptiness. Just the space where feelings used to live. The war took them. Took everything. Left him hollow. After a long time, she pulls back and looks at his face. She sees the lines, the scars, the emptiness in his eyes. She sees that her boy is gone, that this man standing before her is someone else, someone the war made, someone she does not know. She takes his hand. She leads him into the house. There is apple pie on the table. There is a clean bed made up in his old room. There are photographs on the wall of the boy he used to be. The boy who played baseball and went to church and had never killed anyone. He sits at the table. He looks at the pie. He cannot eat. His stomach turns at the thought of food. He looks at his mother. She is watching him, with eyes that have cried too much. She reaches across the table and takes his hand that has killed 47 men. She holds it like she used to hold it when he was a child crossing the street. "It's okay," she says. "You're home now. It's going to be okay." He wants to tell her it is not okay. He wants to tell her about the bodies, about the screams, about the faces of the men he killed, about the friends who died in his arms, about the things he did that he cannot undo. He wants to tell her that home does not exist anymore, that home died somewhere in a jungle or on a beach or in a snowy forest, that he is just a ghost visiting a place that used to be his life. He says nothing. He cannot speak. The words are there, but they cannot come out. They are trapped behind the wall he built to survive. That night, he lies in his old bed. The bed is soft. Too soft. He is used to the ground. He is used to the cold. He is used to sleeping with one eye open and a rifle in his hands. He lies still and stares at the ceiling. The ceiling he stared at as a boy dreaming of adventure. He found adventure. He wishes he had not. Through the wall, he hears his mother crying. She cries quietly so he will not hear. But he hears. He hears everything now. Every sound is amplified. Every creak, every whisper, every breath. The war did that to him. Made him alert. Made him aware. Made him unable to relax. He closes his eyes. Behind his eyelids, the war plays on. The jungle, the beach, the snow, the faces of men he killed, the faces of friends who died, the faces of strangers who suffered. They are all there. They will always be there. They march through his mind every night. They will march through his mind for the rest of his life. He hears it. The rhythm. It has been with him, through everything, through the fighting and the dying and the surviving. It is part of him now, part of his blood, his bones, his soul. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. It is the sound of his heartbeat, still beating after everything, still beating when so many others have stopped. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. It is the sound of the guns, the bombs, the screams, the silence after. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. It is the sound of a generation that went to war and came back different. A generation that carried the weight of the world on their young shoulders. A generation that would never be the same. The screen begins to cut. Quick cuts. Faster and faster. Thomas in the jungle. Robert on the beach. David at the camp. Eleanor in the factory. Samuel in the rubble. Joseph in the water. The faces flash by. Each one a story. Each one a life changed forever by war. The rhythm builds. Louder. Faster. More intense. Da-dum. 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 The cuts get faster. The faces blur. The rhythm becomes overwhelming. It fills everything. It is all there is. Then suddenly, stop. Silence. One final image. A field. Green grass. Blue sky. White crosses. Rows and rows of white crosses. As far as the eye can see, Arlington National Cemetery. The final home of so many who did not come back. A woman stands before one cross. She is old now. Her hair is white. Her back is bent. She places a flower at the base of the cross. She touches the name carved in stone. She does not cry. She has cried enough. She just stands there, remembering. The camera moves closer to the cross. The name becomes visible. Thompson. James. Thompson. Lieutenant. Killed in action. Anzio. 1944. The woman is Eleanor, 30 years older. Her son Tommy grew up. He became a pilot. He flew in Korea. He came home. He has children of his own. He is alive. But she still comes here, every year, to stand before this stone, to remember the man who never came home. The camera pulls back. The field of crosses spreads out endlessly. Thousands of them. Tens of thousands. Each one a story. Each one a family changed forever. Each one a life cut short. The rhythm returns. Soft now. Faint. Like a distant memory. Da-dum. 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 The camera rises. Above the crosses. Above the trees. Above the cemetery. The sun sets over Washington. Golden light spreads across the sky. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. The camera keeps rising. The cemetery becomes small. The city becomes small. The world becomes small. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Then nothing. Black screen. Silence. For 10 seconds. 20, 30. The words appear. White text on black. This was not a story about war. This was a story about people. People who lived. People who died. People who came home, but never really left. They are gone now. But the rhythm remains. Listen. The screen goes black. Silence. The end.